Hello and welcome everyone to FPL Jedi Show Deadline Stream. It is Game Week 2. We are excited to be here. My name is Hafiz and would like to welcome Azmin to the stream. How are you, brother?
I'm okay. Just juggling the news and trying to figure out where to go, and trying to resist, making sure I resist making changes unnecessarily. So yeah, we'll see how we go with that.
All right. First of all, uh, would like to apologize because currently I'm facing a network issue, so you might see some lagging, whether it's from my side or Azmin's side. So for that, would like to apologize. But the show must go on, right, Min? So let's
Yeah.
jump straight to game week 2 fixture, of which we know two teams will not be playing in game week 2, which is Luton Town versus Burnley. They can call it blank game week as early of this season, but there will be only 9 matches to be played. Starting tonight at 2:45 a.m., Nottingham Forest will play the promoted side, Sheffield United under Heckingbottom. All right. So that's the first match this Friday night kickoff. Then tomorrow at 10 p.m. we have three matches: Fulham versus Brentford. We have Liverpool, a tasty match against Bournemouth. We're expecting a bloodbath. And then we have Wolves versus Brighton. Brighton, who actually got a really impressive win from game week 1, 4-1 against Luton Town. Then we have two blockbuster matches on really late Saturday night at midnight: Spurs versus Manchester United. And then at 3 a.m., Man City play Newcastle United. And then on Sunday itself at 9 p.m. Malaysian time, Aston Villa versus Everton. And then West Ham will play Chelsea at home before we close off game week 2 with Crystal Palace versus Arsenal, a London derby match for sure. So we are here to definitely want to hear the team news, okay, and the pressure by managers. So definitely we want to walk through. Why don't we start off with Nottingham Forest versus Sheffield United? What has been both managers been saying in their press conference?
Well, the one thing that Cooper has mentioned is that Gibbs White will start. Yeah, this match, and yeah, and we got Johnson who's coming back into play, and with Forest, for the likes of us who have picked up a 4.0 Turner, this definitely looks a match where you would want to field him, especially where Sheffield United's issue is that they, after having sold the top scorer, they don't seem to have gotten any much in terms of reinforcements. And we saw that Sheffield United last week had one of the lowest XGs and attempted shots in the league. And considering they were playing at home, it looks pretty sad. And we know that Forest are great at home, are much better at home than away. So fielding your Turner might be a good way to kick off the game week with a solid win. But freaks do happen. So but at the moment, that looks like a good way to go.
All right. So for sure, a lot of managers are interested to feel Turner playing at home. First game of his will be playing at the City Ground. Okay, and at the same time, for me myself, I have Osula on the other side that looks like that he gonna make another start for Sheffield United. Okay, I think another one that people are having is Baldock, but mostly for a bench purpose. Okay, but if you feel that he might need to come in, the statement from Heckingbottom did mention that looks okay. So hopefully we should not be worried so much on that. Okay. All right. Let's go to the next match of which Fulham versus Brentford. Okay. There's a particular interesting match also, to be fair. Both playing London Derby, but at the same time, we still remember last season, Fulham and Brentford has really good season last year.
Yeah, so Fulham, despite not having Mitrovic and Willian had issues, but Fulham still managed to pull off a win against Everton last game week. So yeah, and Paulinho, seems to be recovering from a shoulder injury, but is uncertain whether he'll make the starting lineup. Obviously, he's quite important with regards to that in that defensive midfield side. So, but they still kept a clean sheet last week. So and at home they should be expected to carry the flame. Unfortunately, without Mitrovic, that means Jimenez will lead the line. But we got quite a solid back three behind them, hit behind Jimenez. I do rate Harry Wilson. Then you got Pereira and Willian there. So it's looking good there. On the Brentford side, obviously we know that Tony is still out, but Mboimo and Wissa, who are quite possibly some of the popular picks, are there. Jensen is supposed to be fit, and of course we don't have Raya, but we do have Flecken. So we'll see. We'll see how Flecken does in this match.
Yeah, for sure. Flecken will now be first choice since Raya has made his move to Arsenal. Okay, that's a different story. But clearly there, you have Mbomo, you have Visa. Looks like he's going to start, and I don't think there's any worry for those players to featuring in this match. All right, let's go to the next match. Your team, man, Liverpool versus Bournemouth. We're curious to know what has been Klopp saying, especially last match of his Mo Salah did frustrated when he been sub off.
Right. So I guess the biggest news coming from Liverpool Bank, obviously in the press conference, Klopp mentioned that he looked really, really good in training, super good in training. So he's hoping it carries on to the match. So obviously we're not entertaining that he wouldn't even start. Definitely he will start. That's not an issue. It's just whether or not he'll perform. But the other big news coming out of Liverpool is that they've signed a Stuttgart midfielder, a Japanese fella called Endo. So hopefully that will help to reinforce. He wasn't that great, to be fair, statistics wise, but Klopp, I do trust Klopp to do some magic there. But as it stands, that back you got McAllister, Sobosai, and TA in midfield, and we'll have to see what formation they're gonna come up with, but unfortunately Budgeting and Thiago are still out. There's also there's rumors going a slight thing about Robertson may be rotated, but I'm not worried that yet, but it's definitely something that we need to not rule out. Okay, so on the Bournemouth side, there's quite a few missing, but nothing really unusual. So you would obviously we're not considering Bournemouth players, but but to be fair, given the uncertainty of Liverpool and the defensive midfield side, I actually do expect Bournemouth to score in this game. So
Okay. All right.
So it's a bit I don't like to admit it, but I do expect Bournemouth to score because Liverpool's defense is I'm not confident with the defense at the moment.
Right. But I do expect a big scoreline, and I think they mentioned Salah should score at least one goal in this match. That's why people are thinking, and in terms of captaincy, also Salah they mentioned.
So one thing about that front line, it has Salah, Jota, and Diaz. Although I would not rule out Darwin being given a start because I thought he looked decent. But then if Darwin would be given a start, it would be in place of either Gakpo or Jota, not Diaz. Of course, you don't bench the goal scorer and then the very next week. But of course, you'd have Gakpo if for example, if Darwin starts, then it'd be for Jota. Or if he starts for Gakpo, then Jota might be moving to a bit of the back row because Darwin's not going to be a number 10. He has to be leading the line or on the left. So that is a bit of a but my point is that it's just all that uncertainty makes it hard to figure out if you're looking for a Liverpool asset for long term other than Salah in the attack.
Yeah. Okay. Would like to welcome Brian to the stream. Welcome back, dudes. He did mention that, and he mentioned Azmin, Liverpool 3-1, Salah hat-trick, and Brooks for Bournemouth. I think he has Salah and Brooks on his team.
We've been talking to Fadi again, William. Okay, so that's it, 3-1. I think it's going to be a bit more tighter. It might be only one goal score. So but we'll see. I'm a bit pessimistic now for Liverpool.
All right, fair. Let's go to the next match of this Wolves versus Brighton. We know a spirited Wolves against Manchester United, but they still lost against Manchester United. But they're facing Brighton, another good side. So what's been the both manager been saying, Min?
So Wolves no real issues. I think Gary O'Neill has confirmed that, and also the same for De Zerbi. So there's a bit of info on Tariq Lamptey, but then yeah, it's just for playing for the 21s, and he's nowhere near the first choice anyway. So but I did allude to the fact that the problem with Brighton is that Pedro Welbeck pairing, which could easily be changed, because they have that um, with breadth of strikers that they can choose from. So there'll definitely be a lot of minutes shared, and we just have to accept that. So if you have Pedro, Mitoma, and March are much more secure there. Yeah, and a lot of people who have Mitoma probably don't have Pedro. So, but of course, Pedro, he's quite involved, so he should still start. It's just a case of minute sharing. That's the issue.
All right, good to hear that. Like we discussed before we go live, there's a news circulating about experiencing injury, but looks like DZB clear that statement and means everyone is ready. So we should not be worried, right, man?
Yeah, not a worry, not a concern.
All right, let's go to the next match, man. Spurs versus Manchester United. We know there's a lot of attention of Spurs asset from last week, but this again another it's again Manchester United side who are really decent side. So what's the latest news?
So obviously Romero is good to go. So you would think that he would start. The thing is, I would say maybe for Ben Davies because Ben Davies is more playing as a fullback role, but he could shake it up as well. Brentford played Spurs the previous week, so and we don't really know about this manager yet. How what he will do, what his thinking is regarding Spurs. So it's still quite uncertain there. Yeah, so we're not ready yet, and obviously not because they are playing Manchester United. So it'll be interesting to see because Manchester United, who came off with a narrow win, but we got FPL assets Rashford and Fernandes failing to deliver. The most important thing is Hoyen doesn't seem. How do you pronounce his name? Rasmus Hoyen. I'm not sure. He doesn't seem to start, but it does look like they're gonna need him to start sooner or later if they because look, let's face it, we expected Manchester United to trash Wolves last week. That didn't happen.
Yeah.
And I read one of my friends commented that Rashford was playing like a sulking teenager at times. So we'll see. So it's an interesting match to watch for me. If you have Manchester United players or Spurs players, you'd hold for this one because it's still too early. You need to see where they are. And obviously, the biggest interest right now is Madison. So I don't blame them because Madison's looking decent, for me.
I think this another audition for Spurs asset, especially Madison. Maybe people think about Richardson. I'm not sure about Son, right? But if they say they perform against Manchester United, just not sure. Madison continue to produce and assist, or maybe Richardson pop up with a goal or two, and then maybe people start thinking about Spurs in game week 3 for sure. Okay. Yep. Looks like Martinez should start again. If not, Lindelof will come in. But the rest should be okay. Alright, Man City versus Newcastle. As said, Man City did win during midweek against Sevilla for the Super Cup. But there are some players that Pep Guardiola did mention that gonna rule out. So what's the latest news for both teams?
Okay, so yeah, it's starting to look really thin. It's starting to look thin for Pep's team with Stones, Ruben Diaz out, and Silva also not likely going to be able to make it in. He does have like Vardiol to come in, but and Alvarez who may continue to get the start. Although it does look, I mean, if you look at that lineup, it looks a bit unbalanced. Yeah, so. Alvarez and Haaland there, but Alvarez playing a midfield role is a bit like really, and so we'll see what happens there. Newcastle all looking good, so it's really a case of how they play, you would think that they will continue to start the same lineup, but of course it's still early days, and you know that Harvey Barnes was really good from the bench. Yeah, although he will not. He was. I mean, I don't think he's likely to start this one either. But you know, he's definitely pushing for it. Yeah, and with the impact that he can play.
I do expect Newcastle to field the same lineup from last week, and then after that, Barnes, they like Wilson, could come in to change the game if they needed. I feel it's going to be a really strong Newcastle team against Man City side, who might still not 100% fit to all the players, right? Me, I feel
Yeah,
so.
but yeah. So the question, but of course, you know, you're looking and say Newcastle, looking strong. But does that mean we are not going to captain Haaland? So so if you don't have Salah, are you not going to captain Haaland for this one? So
I don't think so.
yeah, you know, we talk so much about Newcastle being strong, but yep, there we go, captaining Haaland all over again. So let's see what happens there.
Right. Let's go to next game in Aston Villa versus Everton. Aston Villa really been punished 5-1 against Newcastle this game, so they really need to bounce back. Any good news from Emery side and also Soindike side?
So it really is now a question of trying to decide whether Aston Villa were poor or were Newcastle just really good. So Aston Villa, as we know, are missing some key players, which is Mings. He's out. It's not mentioned here. Oh no, there it is. Mings there. Buendia is out. Ramsey is out. So you have, you know, Burton Traore returning to training, but Alex Moreno, who was quite a regular fixture last season, but I don't think he's ready yet. So Digne could they be there?
Yeah.
So it's a bit of unsettled lineup, isn't it? So there's in this particular lineup, it has Tielemans coming in. So Tielemans were previously from Leicester, previously acquired. So we'll see whether or not that happens. Everton, I don't want to talk about DCL, but so we got Pickford, who unfortunately who lost his clean sheet last week. I think a lot were begging him to come in.
Yep.
So he has. So this is another chance, but again, it's away. So Aston Villa, who feel like they need to prove something after getting trashed. So it could be a tight one. So those who pick Pickford, yes, it is a risk that you're going to have to decide whether or not it's
as much as you did mention about unsettled and injury situation at Aston Villa, I do feel they're still good enough to defeat Everton. That's my feeling. All right. Let's go to the next match, which is my team, West Ham versus Chelsea. This is the new headline from Pochettino regarding the captain, Reece James. So, can you share?
Right. So West Ham, no problem. And the good news is that James Ward-Prowse is available for selection. You would think that with JWP ready, he'll slot straight into the lineup. And we know that previously we had Cresswell was taking the part of set pieces, but James Ward-Prowse is a definitely huge level up with regards to set pieces, and the likes of Antonio, and Susek will be definitely, those who will be itching to profit for it. Zuma as well, for that matter. So other than that, it's fully good for West Ham. Chelsea, so we know Reece James is out. He says it's not a few days, it's a few weeks. So everyone is thinking that, at least it's not a few months. But then it's Reece James, guys. We've already had a lot of history.
Nothing surprise.
Yeah. So other than that, most of them are all good to go. And with Caicedo coming in, so we got Mudryk, Sterling, Gallagher, Jackson. So I don't know whether that lineup will stay the same. It was, what's the guy's name who scored last week? Diadasi, not there.
Oh yeah.
So Gusto coming in would slot in for James immediately. So we'll see what happens there. Having said that, Jackson is there, and Jackson was really good, although he just didn't score. So he's looking to be a good substitute for Nkuku, at the moment. So Jackson at a very affordable price, so definitely something to look at. This is the second London derby as well, so it might be a good flaming matchup.
Yeah, thanks for highlighting about Ward-Prowse. So now we have two option from West Ham, if let's say anyone to pick, if they perform Bowen 7 million, what Prof 6 million. So I think this interesting facts from West Ham team. On the Chelsea team with Reece James out, Gusto could be an option at 4 million, but still we are unsure if he can actually nail that spot because like mentioned Disasi, Thiago Silva, Colby could actually they play rotation between those things. But number one, if you one replacement for Reece James, same price, Chilwell is the definitely the number one target. Okay, later spoiler. Later we share the most transfer info game itu. Okay, last but not least, the last game, Crystal Palace versus Arsenal. Okay, this is definitely another London derby. Roy Hodgson was welcome Arteta to their turf. So, what's the latest news for both teams?
Right, so London Nabi number 2. So Olizi, who signed a new
Yep.
deal for Palace. So and obviously there
I think
was some
that's good news definitely for Crystal Palace because I always say it's definitely a key person in Crystal Palace side.
It is. We saw last season how good he can be. So obviously with him not around, it will be Schlupp still there at that. No, sorry, Ayu I should say, because Schlupp is now replacing Zaha. So there you go. So other than that, there was a minor issue with Guel, but it looks like he's available. So all good. Guel himself has also been the subject of a few transfer rumors, which Arsenal is one of them because as a possible replacement should suddenly Gabriel decide to head off to Saudi Arabia. So we'll see what happens there. Speaking of Arsenal, so Zinchenko will hopefully be available very soon. So that's where he's there in the predicted lineup, but it might not be the case. So if that's not the case, then Tomiyasu comes in. So, but of course, Tomiyasu is more of a right back and left back. So the biggest question is for Arsenal, will Arteta persist with that experimental lineup that he did in against Forest? So my conclusion is that he won't. And the thing is, because that situation with Ben White, I really want him as a fullback if I'm going to play him in my squad, but I don't know yet. So I'm worried that it will still be Partey on the right with White, Ben White and Gabriel, as well as maybe Tomiyasu or Tierney. So it's a bit of an issue for me right now. So I'm glad to see that predicted lineup there, but I'm not sure if that's going to be the right one. And the other thing with this one, it doesn't have, with Partey going back into the midfield, it doesn't have Nketiah. Yeah, so you would think. So the argument here is that does that mean Havertz is locked on to play whatever happens? So that's something that.
Yeah, I think spot on. You mentioned spot on. You mentioned about Nketiah. I think from last week that he did score that goal, I still feel that he's going to start, right. It doesn't looks logical that Arteta gonna bench him and play the main lineup like Saka, Havertz, Martinelli. He should be playing somewhere there. That's the feeling I have. And that Julian Timber injury, that Gabriel spot or Zinchenko spot could come in, but we're still unsure if like Gabriel owner who has been thinking that we need to move him, give him another week. We'll see how this lineup will be. He might actually came back and slot in. But another interesting one, David Raya, he's already now an Arsenal player. This is going to be trouble if you, let's say, one thing whether Ramsdale or Raya moving forward, who's going to play, right?
Yeah. This one is a bit of a toughie. You would think that Ramsdale hasn't really done anything wrong yet. So I don't see why he would be suddenly replaced by Raya. But definitely Raya is not there for the holidays. He's going to be looking to fight for his spot there. So yeah, it's definitely something to watch and see what happens.
Right. Good stuff. We already covered all the team news, Let's go to Gameweek 2 transfer in and out traffic, of which currently the top transfer in is Ben Chilwell from Chelsea. Whoever thought of that? Because Before, I think from yesterday, Isaac was number one transfer in, but this one is not the latest. But currently, the most transfer in still Ben Chilwell at 615k. So it's continue to get new owner coming in. On myself, like who do not own Chilwell, look stupid not getting him in, right? But this is the traffic right now for sure. Chilwell is definitely someone that people already should jump in or attracting. Second one, I said, okay, this still debatable because he's going to face Man City side away. Okay, that's the fixture this week, but people is not deter from managers to get Isaac in. 466,000 manager have done so. Saka traffic continue to come in. Rodrigo, who actually scored 13 points in game week 1, if I'm right, also attract attention of managers. 376,000 managers say brought him in, and Estipunan is the fifth one, continue to get new owners. In terms of top transfer out, I think there's no surprise there. KDB, the Stones, Mings, Timber, and then the Gabriel who did not feature from game week 1 last week, all inside the top 5 transfer from for this week, man. So what you can make up from this traffic, man?
Well, we know that impact of Chilwell and Estupian is really big. They be looking like they are there to be playing in the final third of each field every time. So we'll see. So no surprises there. Isaac is a calculated risk, and given the fixtures, but it is looking good. So I don't blame them for bringing them in. Saka is no surprises, but Rodrigo is a surprise though, and it's interesting with Rodrigo now because with Kosbasic there, he seems to get forward a bit more, and at that price, he might be if he's a certain starter, we might be interested in looking at him closer. So other than that, you got so Saka is normal lah. Yeah, so no harm.
Yeah, I'm surprised people are not picking him from game week 1, but it is what it is. Yep.
Yeah. Aside from that, you've got nothing, no surprises with the game week 2. With the transfers out, of course, Gabriel, are people jumping the gun a bit there? We're not sure because he didn't start. Just it all depends on this experiment thing that Arteta is up to. But if I were you, I would probably still keep Gabriel for now because we don't know. We need some more information before we take such a drastic decision. I feel so. I think that's wrong. Yeah, Stones is injured there, but he is injured, isn't he? So. Yeah.
Yep.
So.
All right, Min. Before we go to our team, this is the scout picks bus team for game week 2. Just run through. Min, you did mention Turner is the pick for this game week 2, and looks like scout pick also agree on that. Turner in goals. They have Saliba, have Chilwell and Estupinan. No surprise there. Saliba in instead of Gabriel there. We have Rashford. We have Diaby who actually scored from last week, and they still playing Everton at home. So that's why Diaby is there. I think it's logical to have his name there. Saka, Gibbs White, okay, against Sheffield United, who we can say currently also have few injury issue. So maybe Gibbs White can be a potential good pick for this week. Salah for sure, Haaland, and then Wisa. So there is no Mbomo there, but Wisa make it to the line in for game week 2. What do you think, Mick? Do you agree with these scout picks?
Yeah, I mean, Mbomo not there is really just I think probably a budget thing as well. But you got Saliba there who instead of Gabriel now, so Chilwell, Estupinan, no surprises. So looks like everyone's content to give Rashford another shot. He didn't return against Wolves, but now we expect him to go, return away to Spurs. So it is possible because we still don't know. I mean, I still haven't figured out that the Spurs manager is the real deal yet. So that one we'll have to wait and see for that one.
Okay, fair. All right. Yeah, that's the scout picks. Let's go to, we shall see. Is it my team first? Oh, it's your team first, mate. You have no money in the bank, one free transfer. Is this your lineup will be?
The way you say no money back sounds like it's a terribly bad thing. So it's yeah. So I guess it should be 2 free transfers there because I'm not making any. I'm at the moment I'm not making any transfers, right? So at the moment that is how it's gonna be. It's just that case of White. I wish if Arteta had said they're gonna revert to a back four with that means with White coming in instead of Partey, it will then that decision is much harder for me in terms of who to bench. Yeah, but as it is, White is benched on that basis, and it is Crystal Palace away who'll be going about up against my Eze, and I expect Eze to return, be better return after all the stock stats previously. So yeah, so I'm liking the team this week. My scores were not spectacular last week, but I'm thinking that I'm gonna get a lot more this week.
Yeah, I think the interesting one is the TAA pick. Mean he could actually explode against Bournemouth, assist maybe one goal if let's say he play really upfront. And I think that's could be a differential also because not everyone gonna have TAA.
Yeah,
So I believe.
and plus I'm more comfortable now with Foden given the injuries that City
Mm.
suddenly have to Silva and
Mm-hmm.
KDB
Yep,
being
yep,
out.
yep.
I'm
Seems
more
likely he's
confident.
gonna start. Mhm. Yep. Okay. All right, mate. At least if let's say someone missing in this lineup, White is still a decent bench for you to come in because Cabaret is not going to play this week. And actually, it's not really playable. It's
Yeah.
just third bench for you. Okay, let's go to my team. Okay, I just read out. I have Turner in goals. I'm going to play him over Pickford, like Azmin mentioned. Okay, Estupinan, Gabriel, and Shaw. Right now, my backline. The common one is Chilwell instead of Shaw, but I have Shaw for now. All right. Martinelli, Rashford, Mitoma, Saka, and Bruno Fernandes. I have highly on my captain, and Watkins against Everton. I think that's another reason why I'm unlikely going to play Pickford because I'm not going to play Watkins and then I have Pickford in my goal, right? So that's the thinking.
Wait, that hang on. Okay, go on. Yep.
Yeah. And then I have if let's say Gabriel did not start again, then Udogi Destiny playing Manchester at the home is not a bad pick coming in. Osula is an interesting one. If let's say any one of my 7 forwards, so called,
Yep.
does not start, but he's going to play against Turner, who
Yeah.
also not something uh, right playing Turner. But at the same time, I think it is my team right now. Could I actually have my urge to change Shaw to Chiba like 600,000 managers I've been doing? I have that feeling. But I'm thinking another way around. If let's
Yep.
say I have another information about Gabriel, let's say he did not start. Then
Okay.
I have 2 free transfer in game week 3. Gabriel need to go out and then Chiba going to come in and Shaw will stay.
Mm.
And then I could actually bring Madison or Richardson, say Spurs continue to perform, or even Jackson up front. Take a -4. So, whether Martinelli or Bruno could make that way for fun, or what Kings if let's say do not perform, that I could downgrade him to Jackson and use that money to upgrade Gabriel or something like that. So the logical thing is to hold my transfer, but I am feeling nervous about Chilwell this week for sure.
No, so just chill out, not nervous of Salah.
Definitely, I wouldn't have any money to bring in Salah, but from last week, I think Salah gonna perform this week, and then after that, game week 3 will be another conversation.
Yeah. So we'll have to see. Yeah. Yeah. So holding, at least for 1 week, and then after that, let's see. Let's say where we're at. Yeah, I agree with you. You might as well wait.
Yep.
Because
Hopefully,
we
no late transfer, and then thinking about side crash at the last minute. There's another thing that we think about.
for
I
me,
think that's
yeah. But for me, with regards to this game week 2 transfer, it really only needs to be done if you short on players. If someone who's really that you really thought would start isn't starting, then that's an issue. So if you had someone like Gabriel, I think you should still keep. Yeah, because it's still not a confirmation thing that it
Yep.
really has to be like you're already short on players, confirm you're not gonna have enough, then you make the transfers. Because when you started the season, you think that you wanna, you're investing in players that will last a bit longer. So yeah, hold. That's my advice.
All right. Let's go to some chat. I see interesting people talking about you, but let's go to question from Jasper Popperl. San or Bruno, if you have option this week. What do you think, man?
It's a
They're
great.
facing each other.
Yeah, this is a Dasha information, but on the basis of Sun just not being there, I would go for Bruno. If you had to choose between the two, I just don't know whether Sun is still around. The Sun that we know and love, is he still there? Is he actually going to show himself and the old self? And we're not sure. And with his telepathic partner not around, is he going to be continuing to be there? We don't know.
Yeah.
Not convinced.
Right, from Man Stones to Gusto, because Stones are most probably out, right, man? They mentioned in the press that Pep they mentioned Stones will not be featuring. I already have Chilwell and I'm benching Gabriel. So he thinking he has Stones, Chilwell, and Gabriel as his three back, and then Stone are gonna playing. He thinking to downgrade to Gusto, who most probably starts. I'm not sure about the other two sub here that you have, but I'm not gonna play benching Gabriel. I think just play him and hope for the best.
Yeah, I mean, I was trying to, like, in terms of Gusto, but I don't think that. Yeah, I think this you already have Chilwell. I really feel that you should wait. Yeah, but you said Stones to Gusto and play, you know, play Gabriel. Yeah, and wait for another week, because for all Gusto could. I mean, he looks good, but I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. So I'm all for sticking to Gabriel.
Alright, Samsul asking apa sah Stone tak main? So basically Pep did mention it's not likely to play because dia injured. So that's your answer, Atoy.
Injured Abal.
Alright, what else we can pick from here? Man did mention mine 352. Oh, that's his lineup. Onana, Chilwell, Gusto. He already have Gusto in his lineup.
Nice.
Estupinan, Madison, Saka, Bruno, Odegaard, Haaland, and JP, is it Jackson? I'm not sure.
Pedro.
Oh, Pedro,
Pedro.
sorry. Joe Pedro. Yeah, Joe Pedro. So, Chilwell, Estupinan. Oh, okay. All right. So that his
Yeah,
his lineup.
it looks pretty solid. I guess it's a case of Odegaard. Players like Odegaard or Bruno who didn't return, so you would expect them to giving another shot returning. So yeah, I'm off it. But then you see but then based on your previous question, that means you've already changed to Gusto. Because you said you also Gabriel. Because if you haven't, then I would still strongly suggest you keep Gabriel first.
All right. Good stuff. Here, hi Tikitarian. KDB's price drop messed up my switch from him to Salah. Oh, so he has intention a planned transfer to bring Salah this week, but KDB drop in price. So he got Diaz, man. So what do you think?
Which Diaz is this?
I guess Luis Diaz in Liverpool.
Okay, yeah. Oh, sorry, yeah. Not because the other Diaz is with S, is it? Yeah. I think Diaz is okay. I think in terms of the starting, I'm no issue of him not starting. So it's a case of we don't know you return. So yeah, go for Diaz. Why not? But I suppose that means you still leaving your captaincy on Haaland, because that's the logic I'm thinking. Yeah.
Yeah. Hello, Michael Johnson did mention Isaac will score, and I still have Isaac and Barnes. Wow. So definitely you have really a good game week one for sure points if you have Isaac and Vice in your team because they feature in the team of the week for game week 1 for sure, man. What your comment,
Yeah.
man?
Good stuff, Michael Johnson. I think, if you had that for the start, well done. You're already ahead of the pack in some ways. Yeah, but of course, remember that Barnes didn't. So that means you have a lot more faith in Newcastle, and I think you're on the right track. And you even went for Barnes, who didn't start but still returned. So well done.
All right, good stuff. I think that's all question that we have. Just to share again to everyone, don't
Yeah.
forget the game week 2 deadline will be at 1:15 a.m. tonight, which is like 15 minutes away, man. Is it? Right.
Uh,
So
yeah.
the
Yeah.
deadline is
Yeah. So yeah, it's about 15 minutes away. So yeah, we'll leave you to have your last minute thoughts and tinkering around, and then I'm going to look as well, but I'm going to just look with only one hand clicking the news and not and closing my team window because it's just too dangerous. I feel that I'm not one who can easily resist. I know I've
yeah.
been advising you guys to not do any transfers, but I need to apply that same advice to myself. So we'll
Yeah.
see. We'll see.
Still remember last season, man, accidentally you make a transfer, right? So that's you need to be
Oh, don't
careful.
remind me that ended up having to do a free hit. Oh, that was terrible.
Okay.
Okay,
All
all
right.
right.
Thank you guys for watching. And since you guys did do hit the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel, FPL Jedi Show, of you can receive an early notification whenever we are live. So good luck to everyone. Okay, whether you're making an aggressive transfer this week or hold your transfer and have 2 free transfer in KB3. Until then, Min, your last word.
All the best, and another early start to the week. So enjoy and be patient. That's
All right.
all.
May the force be with you
That's all.
guys. Take care. Bye bye.
Take care. Bye.